報 testing 有聲 ，OK 唔嘥時間啦。OK, this video is going to be an extremely long video, just like what I mentioned in last video. But unfortunately, last video I cut it short because it's too long. Okay, now for this video, we are going to look at We are going to look at the past papers questions in these topics. 你見啊，我都 cut 剩好少啦，係咪啊？ I already only put in the DSE questions here, but still it is a lot, and we still need to deal with the last topic of monetary base versus money supply. Okay, so brace yourself, like I said in last video, brace yourself for a very long video. Okay, now here let's look at sample paper. Table below shows the balance sheet of a banking system. Suppose the public hold 500 cash, holding 500 cash, and the amount of excess reserve is this amount. Okay, 600, right? 6,000 here. Now, so if we know the excess reserve is 600, so first, let's do one thing. 我哋做咗一樣嘢先。Okay, let's calculate the required reserve ratio, which in our case, 記住咯喎, required reserve ratio refers to the minimum reserve, which in our case, 1,000 is not the minimum reserve. We need to minus the excess reserve. Okay, minus excess reserve. Divided by the deposit, which I think will be 20%, right? Which I think would be 20%. So A is not correct. Now let's see the maximum amount of deposit. 好啦，既然我哋有咗 required reserve ratio 啦，記住咯噃。Now we follow the 3 steps. Step number 1. Let's get the reserve. Okay, boys. Is there any withdrawal of money or injection of money? 而家冇人入錢或者掹錢走，冇 no one, okay? No one does anything. Therefore, reserve will stay at 1,000. 冇人鬥過佢啊 okay? Then second, we calculate deposit, which should be 1,000 divided by RRR, which is 20 in our case. It should be 5,000. Okay, it should be 5,000. And third, of course, loans would just be 5K minus 1K, give us 4K. Okay, so unfortunately, B is not correct. 唔係4,000喎. Okay, maximum banking multiplier. How do we calculate that? 記唔記得? Maximum banking multiplier is just 1 divided by RRR, which is 5. Exactly the answer. Monetary base is at 2.5K. Okay, now we haven't talked about monetary base, but for now, 我哋寫低咗先。Monetary base refers to reserve plus CP, cash held by public. Okay, so reserve 1,000, CP 500. It will be 1.5K. Okay, so not the answer that we want. 唔係我哋要嘅嘢啦。Okay, now practice paper. Given this balance sheet, excess reserve of $50. 所以唔好諗啦。Immediately, let's calculate the RRR. Okay, let's calculate the RRR. How do we calculate? 150. 唔係喎。Since we have excess reserve, so 150 is not the minimum reserve. We need to minus the excess reserve. Then divided by deposit, which in our case, I think would be 20% again. Now a customer withdraw 掹走咗錢啊。If the banking is fully loaned up, 即係 does not hold excess reserve later 啦，係咪 ？Later on they do not hold any excess reserve. Okay, 又係啦。Let's do our step. What would be the new reserve? 新嘅 reserve. O is 150. Now someone withdraw 蚊走咗50蚊 ，so minus 50. That will give us this one 100. OK, 100係嘛？而家蚊走咗啦，所以我哋 reserve 應該係100。OK， 得唔得 ？Now second deposit, which we already know. If it is fully loaned up, then it should be this one divided by RRR, which is 20 in our case. So 500. So finally, loan would be 500 minus 100. That would give us 400. The maximum amount of loans in the banking system would be 400. Exactly, okay? Exactly 400. Okay, exactly 400. Okay, team. Okay. Now, let's move on. 2012, 2012年啦。You're given these balance sheets, right? Suppose the required reserve ratio is 25%. Okay, 我哋望望啦 ，the excess reserve 我哋計咗先 ，the minimum reserve is just 1K times 25%, which will be 250. Therefore, the excess reserve would be 400 minus 250, which would be 150. Not the answer we want. 150啊 ，OK? Actual banking multiplier 記唔記得 actual 點計啊 ？Actual banking multiplier deposit divided by actual reserve, which in our case 2.5. Also not the answer we want. The banking system can expand its total deposit to 1.6K. 我哋計下咯，好嘛 ？Again, how do we calculate? Step number 1, reserve. There is no withdrawal or no injection of money. 冇多錢冇少錢 so 400. Step 2, deposit. 因為佢係 maximum 啊嘛 ，can expand its total maximum expansion. So this one, again, we use our normal steps divided by RRR, which would be 0.25. In this case, it should be this amount. Okay, so I think C is the answer. What about loan? 我哋睇埋 D 啦。Loan would just be 1.6K minus 0.4K. That will give us 1.2K. Okay, 1200啦。Not 1,000. Okay, 唔啱啦。Okay, 得唔得？ So this is how we calculate this type of question. 好啦，繼續啦。Now, boys, right? You see, actually, this topic, it follows the same logic again and again and again and again and again. 計嚟計去三幅被嘅啫，冇特別嘅，好嘛？好 ，Now, given this table, excess reserve， 咁我哋計咗先啦。Since we have excess reserve, what is the RRR? RRR should be 400 minus excess reserve, 240, divided by deposit of this amount. If I'm correct, I think it would be 25%, right? 係咪應該25%啊 I think it should be 25%. Yes, 25. No. I is it 25%? No, I think it should be. 計一次啦。輕機啊 ，sorry 啊，我成日輕機啊。Here, right? We have 240 divided by. Oh, actually 20%. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's 20%. Okay, 好嘛 ，20%. Now, and the public hold this amount of cash. Now, suppose this amount of money is withdrawn. 而家啦，蚊走咗。So let's calculate. Step number 1. Step number 1. The new reserve used to be 400. 本身咧就400噶嘛。 Now you withdraw 100, and that would be 300, right? 係咪？佢話 what would be if the bank lend out all excess reserve? So if they lend out all excess reserve, we just follow our normal steps divided by RRR, which would be 0.2. 1.5K. And finally, the loan would be 1.2K. Okay, 1.2K. 好嘛？好。咦，但係好似冇答案嘅啊 ，answer A。唔該，你自己小心啲啊 ，boys。Please be careful。佢唔係問緊你 deposit 啊。What will be the money supply 啊？唔該，你小心啲啊。Okay, boys。Money supply refers to cash held by public plus deposit. Okay, 好啦 ，at least we know deposit will be 1.5K, definitely, right? 係咪啊？呢個係1500。What about CP? Hold 200 in cash, right? So answer B. Wrong, 咪錯咯。Withdrawn and hold as cash 啊嘛，要加多100啊。佢而家掹咗錢出嚟做 cash 啊。So answer is actually C. 小心啲啊，好冇 ？Be very careful. 加翻落去 cash 啊。Okay, now next question, 2014. Okay. Now suppose RRR is 25%. Now, if the bank loan out all excess reserve, which is following about the banking system would be correct, okay? The amount of reserve will decrease. Boys, do you remember? Without any injection or withdrawal, reserve will remain unchanged. 而家冇人掹錢走，冇人掟錢落嚟 ，so reserve should not change, okay? 好嘛？嗱 B. Maximum banking multiplier would increase. 記住啦 ，maximum banking multiplier. We are talking about 1 divided by RRR. Without a change in RRR, it's not going to change as well. 係嘛 ？Maximum banking multiplier 係唔會變㗎，係唔會變㗎。OK， 好嘛 ？The money supply will remain unchanged. 嗱，呢個肯定唔係啦。If they loan out their excess reserve right now， 我哋望望啦。Do we have excess reserve right now? 我哋計下啦。Minimum reserve is this amount times 25%, which would be 25% would be 300. Now you see there is an excess reserve of 100. So if they also loan out the excess reserve, definitely more deposit will be created. So no, because deposit would increase. The maximum possible increase in loan will be the same as the maximum possible increase in deposit. 我哋計一次咪知咯，好嘛？ Now again, step number 1, reserve. No withdrawal, no injection, 4,000. Deposit, okay, step 2, deposit 400 divided by 0.25, 1.6K. Step number 3, loan would be this minus this. Now let's check. Deposit would be increased by 400. 1,600由1,200到1,600 increased by 400. Loans 800變1,200. You see? Exactly, right? The maximum possible increase in loan is exactly the same as that of deposit. Okay, this is correct. Okay, 好嘛？好 ，next page. Now we have the following information about an economy. Okay, 嗱呢條咧，我哋出少少貓先。We have not learned what is a monetary base, but here let me write it out. CP plus reserve equals to 500. Coins and notes circulated in the public 即咩意思啊？呢個 CP 咯。 What does that mean? With these two lines, we know that reserve is 200 million. Required reserve ratio, okay? The amount of deposit, if they are fully loaned up, the amount of deposit will be, 其實啦，又係跟返我哋 step 啦。Step number 1, reserve, which we already know, 200. Then deposit is just 200 divided by RRR, which is 0.2. 1,000. Okay, 1,000. A is the answer. Okay, A is the answer. Okay, 得唔得？嗱， we haven't learned this. We will learn that soon by the end of the video. Okay, 好啦，又嚟啦。Now, you are given a balance sheet like this, right? The required reserve ratio will be this one, okay, 20%. If the central bank issue newly printed banknotes of 200, the cash held by non-bank public will increase by 100, and the money supply will increase by this amount. The total amount of excess reserve, 嗱，小心啦 boys， 嗱，開始賤啦，陰年玩嘢啦。When you see by the end there is excess reserve， 去到最後係有 excess reserve 啊。Therefore, our step 2, deposit equals to reserve divided by RRR will not work. 因為點解啊？ Divided by RRR, this is for maximum change. But if we have excess reserve, 即係有冇借晒出去啊？冇，即係咪 maximum 啊？ No. Therefore, we cannot use any formula this time. Okay. All we know is that central bank issue this newly printed banknote. We know A, reserve. 我哋計咗 reserve 先，因為而家真係多咗錢落嚟啊嘛。Used to be 300. Now we have 200 more. So we have 500 reserve. Okay. And the cash held by non-bank public will increase by 100. Okay. 我哋諗諗啦。Money supply equals to CP plus deposit. Okay. Plus deposit. CP plus deposit. We know that CP, okay, we know that money supply increased by 500. And then we know CP increased by 100. So what does that mean? It means that deposit would increase by 400. And actually, 1400. 1400. 好啦, now let's use this 1400 to calculate what is the minimum reserve. The minimum reserve. Okay, the minimum reserve would just be 1400 times 20%, 280. Now, immediately, we know the excess reserve would just be 500 minus 280. Okay. 咦，係咪計錯數啊？點解冇嘅？係嘛？咦？ Did I calculate anything wrong? 睇先，係咪計錯數啊？嗱 ，money supply increased by 5. 有冇計錯數啊？ Oh yes, yes, there is one thing I was wrong. 呢個啊 ，this one is wrong. Okay, money supply 嗱，你唔好理 money supply 住。If I print this note, 200 million, right? 100 falls in the hands of public. 咁即係仲有一半去咗邊啊？ You see right here. Let me separate it. This 200, 100 goes to CP. 咁仲有100去邊啊？ Another 100 should be reserve. So the actual reserve should be this one. 400. I'm so sorry. So answer is actually B. 輕咗機添頭先，懶醒添，係嘛？應該都要升120啦。Okay, not 500, but only 400 because 100 falls into the hand of public. Okay, public. Okay, 哇，好賤啊呢條。Okay, now excess reserve of this amount. Okay, so let's calculate. The required reserve ratio should be 250 minus 125 divided by 500, which would be 25%, right? 25%. 25%. Yeah, incorrect. This one is correct. Okay, 係啱嘅噃。The maximum amount of loan will be this one. 我哋計下咪知咯，係嘛？ Step number 1, reserve 250. No injection, no withdrawal, 冇變過。Step number 2, deposit, which will be here. You see, deposit will be 250 divided by 0.25, which will be 1,000. And step number 3, loan. Okay, step number 3, loan would just be 1,000 minus 250, 750. So this is correct. The banking system can expand to this one. Answer would be D. Actual banking multiplier. Okay, 而家 actual banking multiplier 係幾多啊 ？Okay, now be careful. It's actual at this moment. Therefore, the actual deposit divided by actual reserve, which would be 2 only. 2 only. 4 is the maximum banking multiplier, not actual. Maximum 咧就1 over RRR 就係4啦。Okay, but the actual is just 500 divided by 250. Okay, 得唔得？嗱 ，more example。你阿 Sir 咁多㗎？係啊。That's why I say this chapter is important. DSE 睇多 pass paper 多到。OK， 好嘛？嗱 ，given this amount, no cash held by public, and the required reserve ratio is 25. Okay, is 25%. Is reduced to 25. 係跌咗落去 25啊。After deposit creation, the amount of loan is 750. OK， 嗱，小心啲啊，呢度小心啲啊。佢而家俾咗你㗎啦。The final amount would become 750. Boys, do you need to follow the steps step 1, step 2, and step 3 to calculate? No. 而家 in this case, is there any injection or withdrawal of money? 有冇加過錢？有冇減過錢？ No. Therefore, new reserve would also be 300, which means new deposit 1050. Okay, 1050啦，應該係。Okay, 好嘛？ So let's say which of the following is correct. Money supply would increase by 300. No, because remember, money supply, we know CP plus D. CP has not changed. Deposit increased by 150. So it has only increased by 150. Not correct. Actual banking multiplier, 1050 divided by 300. I think this would be 3.5. Correct. Okay. Deposit increased by 150. Okay. 點解會600啊？任你咯，係嘛？ Those people who actually calculate using 300 and then divided by this one. Okay. Not correct. Bank reserve, no, there is no change. Okay. 好嘛？好。Last MC before we move on to short questions. Okay. Now, the public always hold this amount of cash. If the banks loan out their excess reserve and all the loans are redeposited into the banks, then maximum 啦，係嘛？嗱，小心啲啦。Here, money supply, CP plus deposit. We know CP is 12K. Therefore, we know the original deposit 23K 係咪？原先應該係23K 啊嘛。Okay, so here deposit 23000 佢話而家啦 ，actual reserve ratio 實質嘅 reserve ratio is 25% of this amount. So reserve would be 睇下先，唉撳機啊，唔好懶醒啊今次，撳機啊 ，would be 23000 times 0.25. Okay, 5750. Okay, and loans would be now this is the situation. Okay, this is the situation. Now, 好啦，佢講明啦 ，there is an excess reserve of this amount. So boys, what would be the required reserve ratio? It would be this one minus 1150 divided by this amount. 因為而家1150係 excess reserve 啊嘛 ，so it should be sorry 啊 0.2 okay 0.2 okay it will be 0.2 the required reserve ratio. Now, if the bank loans out the excess reserve and redeposit into the banks, what happens? Our three step. Step number 1, reserve this amount. Step number 2, deposit maximum. 佢講明係 loan out all excess reserve 啊嘛 ，redeposit 啊嘛 ，divided by 0.2, which would be 乘5，唔好懶醒啊，5750除0.2 28750. And of course, that will give us the loan being this amount. Okay, so let's see. The maximum possible amount of money supply would be this amount. 中咗係咪啊 ？No, money supply 係乜嘢啊 ？CP plus the deposit. 我仲有 CP 啊嘛 ，12K, right? So unfortunately, not correct. Monetary base would be this amount. 嗱，嚟多次啦，未學嘅 monetary base reserve plus CP. Okay, reserve would be this amount. 5750. CP 12K. Definitely not this number. Maximum possible amount of loan will be this amount. Correct. Maximum banking multiplier 1 divided by RRR is actually 5. Okay, 應該5先啱啦。Okay, so not the answer we want. 好嘛 Okay, so you see, we have been doing so many questions, but we have been following the same method again and again and again. 未完呢？仲有啊 Yes, we still have some more questions. Okay, several more pages actually. Okay, we still have several more pages. Okay, 好嘛 Now here, 2012. Now you are given this table. Suppose they do not hold cash and there are this amount of excess reserve. Okay, find the RRR. 好啦 A 好容易做啫，係咪啊 A the RRR would just be 500 minus excess reserve 100 divided by 2000, and that would give us I think this one would be 20%, right? 應該冇錯啦，係咪 20%. Now, find the maximum possible amount of deposit if they're fully loaned up. Okay, so how do we do it? Reserve would be 500. Therefore, deposit, okay, after credit creation, okay, would just be 500 divided by 0.2, which would be 2500. Okay, 應該2500啦。Therefore, okay, the maximum possible. Therefore, max possible deposit is 2500。嗱，唔好寫漏啊 ，million， 你唔好漏咗個 unit 啊，會死㗎 million。Okay. Now see, the central banks injects into the banking system. If they loan out, what will be the amount of money supply in the economy? Okay， 即係要你計多次啦，係咪啊 ？Again, reserve after injection。而家啦，注咗資之後會係幾多啊？ It should be 500 plus 200, 700. Okay, and the deposit， 我唔寫啦嗰啲。I mean after credit creation would be 700 divided by 0.2, which would be this amount. Okay, million. Okay, also million. 好嘛，3500啦。Therefore, okay, amount of money supply. Therefore, money supply would be CP plus deposit. CP we know it's always 0, right? 佢講明啊，唔會揸錢啊。0 plus this equals to this amount, million. Okay, 得唔得？ So we get the answer. We get the answer. 係咪你發覺啊？做嚟做去3幅皮嘅咋 ？Okay, nothing special. Okay, 好啦 ，now I think there are 3 more pages. 3 more pages. Okay, 2015. Okay, 2015. Now, never hold excess reserve. Fully loaned up. Public always hold this amount of cash. Okay, so the legal reserve ratio 好容易啫，係咪啊 ？Calculate the following. Legal reserve ratio. This one would just be 10K divided by 5 would be 0.2. Okay, legal reserve ratio. And the money supply would be CP plus deposit, which would be CP 150 plus this one 5150. 啱唔啱啊？唔係啊 ，million 啊 ，don't leave out the unit. OK， 好嘛？好，跟住啦。A firm in country A has received this amount from abroad and deposited the sum into a bank. 好啦，而家既然 deposit 咗，即係咩意思啊 ？So OK， now first of all for part B monetary base 我哋未學嘅 monetary base refers to CP plus R。OK， 好啦 ，CP we know always 150 plus reserve. Reserve used to be this amount, right? But now we have 50 million injected into the money, okay? Injected into the system, therefore, plus 50, okay? And that should give us 1200 million. Okay, that will be part B. 好啦 ，part C 啦 ，money supply, okay? Money supply would be CP plus D。OK， 嗱，我哋未計 deposit 啦，而家 OK，we know CP 150 definitely right。好啦 ，how do we calculate deposit？ 又係啦 ，step number 1 reserve after injection。當我注資之後啦，我有幾多錢啊 ？This would be plus 50。咦，原來上面計過1050啦，million。OK， 1050啦。Then deposit 咩 after 啲自己寫啦，好嘛？我唔寫啦，嘥時間。OK， 1050 divided by here we LRR 0.2 and that should give us 5250, right? 係咪 5250 million. Now therefore money supply would be 5250 here, right? 5250, that would give us 5400 million. OK， 得唔得？係噶啦，係咁計嘅咋 ，nothing special， always follow the same 啦。有冇發覺啊 ？MC 係難過 long question short question 好多噶 ，long question short questions are much easier because they can't do any trick. You always follow the steps to calculate, right? 係咪啊？我哋計多幾條啦，試下係咪阿 Sir 你咪講真㗎？好嘛，試下啦。Now, always hold this amount of cash. Banking does not hold any excess reserve. Sorry 啊，就幾條。We need to calculate monetary base and money supply. 我哋計啦。Monetary base here, CP plus R, which would just be 500 plus this one, 1.5 million. Okay, what about money supply? CP plus D would just be 500 plus 4,000, which will be 4.5K million. Okay, 我咪4,500 million 啦。Okay, now suppose the central bank increases required reserve ratio to 50%. 而家啦，我係要升50%。Calculate the change in monetary base. OK， 我哋睇到 B 先啊。記住 monetary base M0 equals to CP plus R. Is still CP 仍然係幾多啊？500. Reserve still 1,000. So, K, 1.5K million. What is the change? There is no change. 係冇變過啊。There is no change in monetary base. OK， 嗱呢個好緊要啊，記住啦，係嘛 ？There is no change. Credit creation, credit contraction will not affect monetary base 係唔會影響，因為 R 啊 ，because CP plus R，right？ 好啦，跟住啦。Money supply will be CP plus D. Okay, we know CP 500. What about deposit? Okay, again follow our steps, right? We have reserve as 1,000. Then deposit. Okay, now since do not hold any excess reserve, right? Now through the contraction process, 而家啦收翻緊啦250啊嘛，係咪啊 ？0.5 will be this amount. Okay, plus will be 2.5K million. So the change 而家要你計 change 啊嘛 used to be 4.5 minus 2.5 would be 2K million. And this is a decrease. 寫清楚符號啊 This is a here. Sorry, the change. 我而家計係咪 So this is a decrease. 而家係跌咗啊 OK, a decrease of 2K million. Okay, done that. So this is how money supply has changed. Why is money supply often a few times more than the deposit monetary base? Basically, this one is the credit creation process. 嗱，我唔抄多次啦，好嘛？ Basically, you copy from your textbook and your notes on the credit creation process. Under what situation will money supply be equal to monetary base? 咩情況之下會係 Why would they be equal to? 幾時 equal 啊 It is equal 嗱，即係記住啦 ，money supply CP plus R D sorry monetary base CP plus R 幾時一樣啊？ D equals to R. Reserve and demand deposit. No, and deposit exactly the same. So what would be the situation? 幾時會完全一樣啊 There are several possible answers. Okay. One, banks hold all deposit as reserve. 或者啦 Banks do not loan out any reserve. OK， 一樣意思啫。第二啦 There is no demand for loan， 完全冇啦。或者第三個啦，係咪啊？Public hold all money as cash， 完全唔包銀行嘅。Then in this case, deposit will be equal to R. In fact, for number 3, D equals to R equals to 0， 完全冇啊，一蚊都冇啊。Okay, everything is CP. Okay, 得唔得 ？So these are how we answer. I think there is one more question. Yes, there is one more question. 好，睇下呢個啦。2018. Okay. Initially, the bank holds excess reserve， 即係咩意思啊？我哋先計咗 RRR 啦。Okay, RRR in our case would be this one。輕幾添 ？RRR 500 minus 100 divided by 2000. I think that one would give us 0.2, right? 0.2. 好嘛？Public hold this amount of cash. Suppose the bank buys these bonds from public， 即係咩意思啊 ？Buy bonds 係咪即係個 money supply 會上升啊？因為佢俾錢出嚟啊嘛。So now part number one, new monetary base。嗱，我哋未講咧，一陣間會講埋，做埋一條我哋講 M0啦。Monetary base is just CP plus R。OK， 好啦 ，CP we know used to be 幾多？100。And they say buy from public 係咪即係而家個 public 會多咗錢啊 ？Plus 40。好 ，reserve doesn't change. So we have 640 million. Okay， 好嘛 ？This is the M0。好啦，嗱 state two assumption under which actual change would equal to the maximum possible change， 即係咩意思啊？其實如果 actual change equals to possible maximum possible change，basically there's maximum creation。咁啊頭先啦，又嚟多次啊，我哋背默啦，好嘛 ？OK，banks do not hold excess reserve。第二個啦 ，there is no cash leakage。個個都放晒錢入嚟嘅，唔揸錢嘅。And finally, there is sufficient demand for loan. OK， 好嘛 ？So any two would do。最後啦 ，calculate the maximum possible change in money supply。OK， 我哋望望啦。Here， original money supply CP plus D, which in our case would be 100 plus 2000. That will be 2100 million. Okay, 好嘛 ？Now new money supply will be CP plus D, which we know the new CP 係咪啊？嗱，因為佢係 maximum possible change 啊，嗱小心啲啊 ，maximum possible change means that this 40 million will be put into the banks， 因為 no cash leakage 啊嘛，係嘛 ？Therefore CP 100 plus 嗱 D 我哋未計嘅 ，how do we calculate D？ Again reserve new reserve。頭先你話咩啊？嗰40個 million 會掟翻入銀行嘛 ，so they will have 40 extra 540. Then deposit would just be 540 divided by RRR 0.2, which would be 2700, I think, right? 係嘛 ？Therefore, new deposit 2700 that would give us 2.8 million。嗱，未答完㗎 ，boys， 係 maximum possible change 啊，你未答完㗎。Therefore, the max change would be 2.8 minus 2.1 equals to 700 million increase。升㗎呢個係，唔係，唔好 2.1， 你已經睇唔明啊。OK， 係升咗700個 million 啦。There's an increase of 700 million in money supply. OK， 好嘛 ？And that would clear all our past paper available in this note. OK， 好啦，最後啦 ，we haven't talked about monetary base。好啦，原來啦 ，monetary base 頭先咧，我哋做咗咁多條咧，你都開始見到啦，係咪啊？嗱 ，let's go back to page 15，actually 16。原來啊 ，monetary base refers to CP plus reserve, which in this case, page 16, okay, would be CP 係幾多啊？100 plus 100 would be 200, right? 好啦 and the next page, again, CP plus R, which would be 50 plus 150, 200. OK， 咁其實究竟乜嘢係 monetary base 啊？Now let us go to page. Yes, let's go to page 204 of your textbook. Monetary base include cash held by public and bank reserve. 講得簡單啲咩東西嚟嘅咧？ Monetary base are actual physical money， 係真係實實在在真係湊手嘅錢啊！你阿 Sir money supply 唔係咩 ？money supply no because money supply if you remember some money is created through loans. When they get the loans, they deposit the money into another bank. 原來啦，佢係 actual plus some bookkeeping。有啲數咧，有啲 account 咧係真係 bookkeeping 嘅數嚟嘅咋，唔係實實在在存在㗎。OK， 得唔得 ？So monetary base are actual existing money, while money supply is actual money plus OK some bookkeeping account money OK， 原來啲 account money 嚟㗎，好嘛？嗱，原來仲有一樣嘢，不過好耐冇問過啦，有叫 money multiplier。不過我發覺咧，考試好耐冇問過啊 ，money supply divided by monetary base 都好似冇出過啦已經。OK， 嗱A level 有嘅，但係好似會考同埋 DSE 都冇再出過啦，好嘛？嗱 ，with that said, now let's go back to one final question on page 15 of your notes。好啦，我哋頭先計咗咁多數啦 ，finally, okay, finally we are able to look at this question on page 15。頭先話啦 ，if the Japanese government, okay, if the Japanese central bank purchase government bonds。How would monetary base be affected? 我哋要寫翻出嚟啊 ！Monetary base equals to CP plus reserve. OK， 好嘛？嗱 ，since they purchase government bond， 銀行買嘢要俾錢啊嘛，係咪啊？ They since the purchase would give money, OK, from banks 啊嘛。To banks 係真係俾錢啊嘛，所以啦 ，reserve in banks would go up. Now therefore monetary base would go up. 而家係多咗 reserve 啊，而家會多咗 reserve， 所以 M0 會升咗啦。While for part B, the process of credit creation， 記唔記得啊？頭先我哋一路講啦 ，in the credit creation process, we found that reserve never changes. Explain whether the process will further affect monetary base. Okay, we know that M0 will not be affected. Since in the process, both CP and R would not change。喺呢個過程度 ，reserve 同埋 CP 都冇變過啦。OK， 我哋之前計數 ，we have done a lot, right? So that would finally conclude our chapter 20. It is 15 minutes. OK， 極長嘅一條片啦。OK， 好嘛 ？So hopefully after this video, you can truly enjoy your Easter holiday. Same for me. OK， 好啦，唔講啦，拜拜，去休息啦。See you then，拜拜。